The most powerful tool any of us can carry with us is the power of hope. For it is with hope that we can survive the struggles of life. We can find the courage to get through the storms of life. And we can feel equipped to conquer even the impossible. But if you've come today because you feel like hope is slipping through your fingers, well then, my friend, today's episode was made specifically for you. Because today I bring you something real, not fluffy inspiration. No, real life, tactical, applicable, daily habits that you can begin adopting. And in return, you will find hope returning to your life. So if you have been looking for a sign to keep going, if you've been looking for hope in all the wrong places, well, my friend, I have to believe that you finally found the right place. And it's all inside of today's 385th episode of Grit, Grace, and Inspiration.
I got grit, grace, and inspiration on my mind. No matter the storms that rise, I won't be left behind. I'm stepping out in faith, cause I'm perfectly designed. I got grit, grace, and inspiration on my mind.
What's happening, my friend, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Lowe, and today my whole aim is to be your coach, your counselor, your cheerleader, the person sitting next to you at the coffee shop, reminding you that it's going to be okay, that life might be difficult, things might not be looking up in life, but I promise each day is a new opportunity. Every morning when you wake up, you hold the pen. You get to write the story how you want it. Now, I understand sometimes it doesn't feel like that, but in the big picture of life, it's truly that simple. You get to make the choice. Today, we're going to help you by restoring hope in your day. Because without hope, then, my friend, I feel like all is lost. And now, if you haven't met me before, if you've not heard my story, I've been blind for now over 21 years. This October 28th, 2025 will be my 22nd anniversary of when I became blind. And I can tell you that even in the darkest of times, there's been one thing that has pulled me through, and that is hope. Hope in something bigger, hope in something better, hope in just a brighter tomorrow. So whatever you're going through in life, and I understand in the world today, the struggles are many. There's way too many people hurting. It's something that honestly, it tears me apart. I hate to think of anybody struggling or hurting. My goodness, that's part of the reason why I do this podcast, is hoping that I can reach you who maybe needs to hear what I have to say, what I have to share, some lessons that I've learned along the way to hopefully give you a helping hand. Today, we're talking about the power of hope. And more specifically, we're about to dive in to 3 daily habits that I believe if you can begin to adopt these as part of your daily routine, or better said, simply just part of living, that you will find yourself having hope in life more than you ever have before. Our first of our 3 habits that I want you to begin to adopt into your life is winning the small things, the little battles, the little victories. I want you to take advantage of them. Because when life feels overwhelming, I don't want you to think about or focus on fixing everything. I want you to break it down one little thing at a time. If we want to use the battle analogy, if you think about a war, a soldier, a general leading his troop into battle, he doesn't think about winning the war. He thinks about winning that individual battle. For you in life, I get it. Sometimes life feels like a war. Every day feels like a battle. So just take it battle by battle. And now when I say simple, when I say small, I mean small, seemingly insignificant. When you wake up in the morning, maybe it's as simple as you making your bed. If that's on your game plan, then make your bed in the morning. It's simple. Takes you less than a minute to do. And you already start the day with a win. Maybe it's you being sure that you get that first full glass of water, drank right when you wake up. Again, starting the day fresh and renewed. Maybe it looks like you starting off the day with a quick walk. Just 5 minutes out of your day. 5 minutes first thing in the morning, just to get outside and let loose and just go for a walk. Whatever it is, I encourage you to let it count. Don't think of it as insignificant. Think of it as one small victory, one battle won. You made your bed. Your bedroom looks nice. You got dressed. You drank your water. You took your vitamins. You went for a little morning stroll. You got your exercise in for the day. You're done. Check, check, check. You are winning all the way around. Again, focusing on the little things. We have a tendency, especially when life is tough, to focus on the big picture. We get overwhelmed, and that is what leads us to remain stuck and overwhelmed. But instead, we have to reset our mindset to just break it down into little pieces throughout the day. And with every small win, you will be reminded that this game ain't over. That's right, my friend. You are still in the game with every little win you accomplish. Now that we're building momentum with habit number 1, I want to focus on habit number 2, and that is you letting people into your life. Isolation is the worst thing you can possibly do in life. We are not meant to do this life alone. And yet, especially when times are tough, when we're struggling, so many of us tend to keep to ourselves. We don't want to let anyone else know what's going on. We don't want to worry them or stress them out. So instead, we hold it all in. My friend, that is the worst thing that you can do. And I think you already know that is the truth. So for this, I want you to realize that I'm not telling you to go tell the world all of your problems. I'm not telling you to go post it on Facebook. No, I'm telling you to find one person that you trust, that you love, one person who cares about you, who they want to know what you're going through. And maybe you've not been sharing the stuff with them. Well, today I want you to start. I want you to figure out who that person is, and I want you to let them in on what you're going through, on what you're struggling with. Let them be a friend. No one can be a friend. No one can be there for one another if we're not willing to let them in. If we're not willing to be open and honest, how can we expect them to be there for us? We can't. So my friend, I encourage you to put your guard down. I know you try to be so strong, but my friend, sometimes the strongest thing you can do is just to admit that you need help, that you need a hug from somebody. And that can be as simple as a phone call to a friend. Habit number 3 is something that I talk about a lot on this podcast, and I feel it is so important in regards to today's topic. And that, my friend, is gratitude. And more specifically than just saying gratitude, I'm talking about you declaring what you are thankful for, what you are grateful for each and every day. Now, here's the thing. There's a lot of moments throughout our days when things happen, when we are in situations that we can be grateful. But I'm not asking you to maintain this grateful mindset all throughout the day. No, I'm only asking you to think about it twice a day. First thing when you wake up in the morning, I want you to think of at least one thing, 3 things if you want extra credit, but one thing in particular that you are grateful for. Now, again, I'm speaking to you right now, thinking that you might be in a point in your life where you're struggling, where you don't have hope, where you want to feel better about the future, but you just don't. And when you're in that type of mindset, it's hard to be grateful for much of anything. But my friend, why this is so important, if you think of yourself as a cup of water, the more water you pour into it, the fuller it gets. Now, if you don't fill the cup full of water, well then throughout the day, throughout life, it's just going to get filled with all the other crap, all the stuff, all the negativity. But instead, you have an opportunity to fill the cup yourself. First thing when you wake up in the morning, by immediately naming something that you're grateful for. Now, this can be simple. It can be big. Whatever it looks like to you. It could be as simple as the bed that you just woke up in. It could be your spouse who's on the other side of the bed. It could be any number of things. For myself, one of the things that I am the most grateful for in the morning is my little dog, Sophia. When she comes downstairs, I mean, my gosh, she's just full of life and energy. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is. It doesn't matter what's going on. My gosh, if I need some hope restored in my day, if I need some joy, I just turn to her. I encourage you to find something, and I want you to declare it. First thing when you wake up in the morning, I don't want you to do anything else but this. First thing when you wake up, name at least one thing that you're grateful for. Now, I told you there's 2 times throughout the day. The second time is when you go to bed at night. Before you close your eyes and you go to sleep, I want you to immediately change your mindset from all the stresses of the day, all the anxiety and the worry, and I want you to focus on one thing that you're grateful for. What was one thing that happened today that you were thankful for, that you're grateful for? Again, it doesn't mean that it has to be anything big. It can simply be your family, that one friend that you got to talk to today about what's going on in life. It's the little things that mean the most here. What I want you to do is just to begin to focus on them, to bring them to light. I promise you it's going to make an impact on your day. So now, before you leave today, I just gave you the 3 habits, but I want you to go ahead and I want you to make this podcast mean something right now. So I encourage you, no matter what you're doing, whether you're doing the dishes, you're out for a walk, maybe you're on your morning drive to work, I want you to take half a second and entertain me by going ahead and taking action and getting in the mindset of implementing these habits. Because my friend, if you need hope in your life, then I want to be sure that you get hope restored as fast as you possibly can. So my first question to you is, who is one person that you can let into your life? Who is that one person that you need to reach out to? That one person who you know wants to be there for you, but you have to be willing to let them in on what's going on. I want you to think of who that person is, and I want you to reach out to them today. Our second habit, what is one thing that you are thankful for? Right now, here, while I'm speaking to you, while you're listening to me, I want you to think of one thing that you're grateful for. Name it, declare it, let it be yours. Let it fill your heart with gratitude. And then, of course, circling back around to our first habit that we talked about, what is one little win that you can do today? What is one thing that when you get out of the car at work today that you can do that wins one little battle? Or maybe it's until you get home tonight. I want you to think about it. I want you to go ahead and decide what it is. And I want you to focus on being sure that you will conquer that one little win. Again, I'm not talking about big things. I'm just talking about little micro wins throughout the day. My friend, as I've said, this life isn't easy. Sometimes it's downright overwhelming. But there is one tool that you can harness when nothing else is working that I promise you can get you through the darkest of days. And that is harnessing the power of hope. So with today's episode, my own hope is that something I said today resonated. I hope that these 3 daily habits become part of your daily routine. But more so, I hope that something said, something that you implement, that it brings hope back to you in your day. And to end, I will remind you that if you're on a journey of becoming the best version of you, but you would love a shortcut, a cheat code, something to make you focusing on your own personal growth and development a little bit easier, well, take advantage of my free resource called the AI Advantage. Basically, it's a shortcut, a cheat code to the person who's not so familiar with AI, still a little bit overwhelmed, maybe freaked out by it, but would love to see how in the world it could actually help you. Well, it's all inside of the free resource called the AI Advantage. There is a link at the top of today's show notes where you can download the free ebook that will have you on your way to understanding that AI, it's not nearly as difficult or scary as you may think. So again, find a link at the top of today's show notes where you can access that. And until next time, I'm of course your host, Kevin Lowe, and this was another episode of Grit, Grace, and Inspiration.
I will not fear the storm, my hopes well defined. I walk by faith, not by sight. I won't be resigned, rising higher every day. Oh, doubts left behind, 'cause I got grit, grace, and inspiration on my mind.